62 students have tested positive for tuberculosis from this latest round of TB tests conducted at Okkodo High School, and of those, one person has been found with active TB. In a news conference, public health and school officials released the results of the test conducted at the Northern High School.
We found that there were 62 clients or students that had a positive TB skin test. And of the 62, we again did further evaluation with the chest x-rays and sputum for those that needed to have sputum examination. We found additional one case of active TB from that group. Okay, and again we found 79 students and staff combined had prior skin test positive.
TB program coordinator Cecile Arciaga says the tests were conducted after a total of 3 students were previously identified as having active TB. It is still not known if the positive results are of the same strain, but off-island tests are being conducted to make that determination.
We actually sent our specimens to our laboratory for genotyping and later on for fingerprinting, for DNA fingerprinting. The results of this would actually tell us whether these cases are connected, meaning the first case actually made the rest of the 3 cases sick for TB. And those results are still pending. It takes a while to get those results back.
Meanwhile, the students who have tested positive are all undergoing treatment and will have to receive a doctor's clearance before being allowed back into school. At the same time, there are still 169 staff and students who have not been screened, and they too will have to be tested before being allowed back into school.
There's no reason to be really so alarmed about it, because as public health and as a school, we've done everything we could to make sure that these contacts are identified and tested. It's just too bad that quite a number didn't show up for the testing on time.
The situation has raised some concern over the TB test requirements for students. Currently, they are only to undergo a TB test upon entry into the public school system. The GPSS administrator for the Student Support Division, James Petit, he says, however, they are now considering beefing up that policy to mandate an annual testing.
You know, the only time the students get TB testing is when they first enter the school system. So if they entered the school system 11 years ago, that was the last time they got a TB test. So the superintendent, I know, is extremely concerned about this issue, especially when it comes to the safety of students and the health issues. So I believe we are going to be revisiting that board policy that mandates, you know, that one-time testing upon entry into GPSS, and take a look at maybe making that a little more frequent.
Arciaga says, though, even with an annual testing, parents need to be mindful of when their children are sick and take them to the doctor. And even if no changes are made to the requirements, people should see their private doctors to be screened for the disease just as a precaution.